Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So, big day for me. I beat the elite trial for Aigaion, and then he's kind of considered like one of the very highest peaks to climb in the game. And I knew I wanted to beat it because his rewards were especially good. And I've been focusing a lot on trying to, build up my A2 in particular. So let's have a look at my team. This is kind of my main A2, which is, I've put in the most pots and stuff. And then the main theme for this team is going to be fire damage. So I have the Vernard sword here, just a regular sword with the fire element. And then the other hand, she's going to use the Hell Claws, and that is a fist type weapon. And then the reason why I want to use that is so that it improves the Champion's Belt, the accessory number 1 there. And then that will really raise my attack and my defense, both of which I need for this mission. Grand Helm is good. I think it raises HP or attack or something if I pair it with heavy armor. Then the heavy armor I'm wearing is a Demon Mail, which also raises my attack. And then Monarch's Ring, which is just an overall stat buff. And then for abilities, I have a Machine Killer in there. And then Dark Knight Soul, that will pair with the sword and the heavy armor to raise the attack even more. Attack plus 30, and then Vengeful Wrath, just so I can have more HP and then so more survivability. And then, yeah, the weapons that I'm using for my team are not really, top class. I was interested more in the elemental chaining. Okay, next up is Ayaka, one of my favorite recent characters. I gave her the Aura Staff, and that can give her Dispel, which could be good for this mission, but I didn't need it because I had my other characters to use. Cat Ear Hood for the defense, Lordly Robe also for the defense, and that's from the Alma Trustmaster, so I was happy to get that. A couple Monarch's Rings just for the stat buff. I'm working hard on trying to unlock the recipe for the Ruler's Ring. I think we're maybe 4 achievements away. But anyway, the abilities are all just defense type of stuff. And yeah, Mechanical Heart is really good in most cases, but in this case I needed it just more for the buff, rather than the healing. Okay, here is my secondary A2, and then I usually equip her so that she has a lot of evade. This time I only gave her a little bit. She's got the Beast Lord just for, flat damage plus defense. Gaia Hammer is pretty great, because that's a fire element, so that will chain with the Vernard. And it also has Machine Killer, so yeah, it's kind of made for this quest, I'm thinking. Raven Beret has a little bit of evade in there. Force Armor is just strong, Domination Ring for the stats. And then Lauren's Insignia, I think that raises attack and HP, so that's pretty good. And then for abilities, I got Adventurer 4, I think I unlocked that yesterday. I'm a big fan of the expeditions. And then the other ones are just attack up and then a little bit of HP from Vengeful Wrath. Okay, next up is Ace, and he was the first 5-star that I ever got. So he's one of my favorite characters. I gave him the Water Drake's Rod. It's water element, and I need a water element attack during certain points of this quest. I gave him the Chapeau helmet, or hat rather, and yeah, I have a couple of other hats that are better, but I thought this one looked better on him. So I gave him Chapeau. And then Magi Robe for the defense. And then for the accessories, I gave him the Pod 153 and Riku's Pouch for the additional abilities. But I think I only ended up using Pod 153's defense ability. And then the abilities are all just survivability things. Okay, and then finally I'm using a Zargabath. And then he is also a Swiss Army knife, kind of like Ace. I gave him the Twin Lance. He has a pretty good chance to counterattack, so with the Twin Lance he can get extra attacks, and so that's more limit break crystals for us. Army Shield because it's good, Survivor Helmet also because it's good, and Platinum Armor, and then a couple of Domination Rings for the stat boost. And for abilities, I gave him the Equip Light Shield so he can use the Army Shield. Cheerful Tune, just because I thought it was funny. That's one of the Ariana Grande limited time abilities. And then a couple more just defensive abilities. And then I decided to use Zargabath just because I've never used him before and I don't know how to use him. So I used this trial to really find out. And he turned out to be great. Okay, so here are the rewards. And then the one that I really want, well, I want to beat the quest, and then I can get Aigaion's arm, the strongest fist in the game. I want to get the Trust Moogle, of course. I'm going to give that to Barbarisha. I'm working on her Trust Master. And then I really want the Martial Arts Mastery, because that will increase the attack of Aigaion Fist even more. World Destroyer I don't feel like I need, so I'm going to go ahead and use Magic. And yeah, I'm going to put Ramu on Ace, so that he can use that Ramu and I can get that reward. And then for my friend, I thought I would use Noctis, just because there's the event going on and there's so many of him. And then I want a Noctis either with very low attack or very high attack. I think preferably low. So I'm going to use Barrowar's Noctis here. And then the reason why I want him to have low attack is because Aigaion will do a guaranteed kill of whoever has the highest attack every turn. So if Noctis had the highest attack, he would get hit every turn. I don't want him to be hit every turn though, because he is also good as a reviver. So I picked one with a lower attack, and then one of my A2s will be the character with the highest attack. Okay, let's move into here. Okay, and then the method I'm going to use is the slow and sure method, where I take down Aigaion's left arm many times, and then I take down Aigaion's right arm a couple times, and then I go after the body. And then I did try it body first, but it was kind of like a stalemate. He couldn't down me, but I couldn't down him either. Like, I would take away like maybe 5% of his life, but then he would revive like 4% of his life. So I needed basically like 100 like perfect turns in a row. But getting a lot of perfect turns in a row is not so easy, so I decided to go for the arm method. And I guess that's easier to get the rewards for as well, and then that's what I was doing it for, so I decided to go arms first. And then basically what I'm going to do every turn, the two A2s are going to use the offensive heal attack, and so restore their HP, and then also do the chaining damage. And then they both have a fire weapon, so I'll get the fire damage in there. And then with Ayaka, she's going to use Re-Raise on the character with the highest attack, and that is usually going to be the A2 in the number 1 spot. And then she'll use the dual magic, and then cast Curaga, I think, on everybody, just to raise everybody back to full life. And yeah, those two characters, that's pretty much all they are going to do. The three guys in the back, they have a more complicated job. With Ace, I want to use his Tri-Beam Laser to imperil the boss so that they have fire weakness. So yeah, we can see there that they have the fire weakness, and that will mean more damage from A2's attacks. If the fire damage is increased, then I don't need to use the Tri-Beam Laser again, and I can use Spirit Hand instead, and then that will refill everybody's MP. And yeah, that's very important, because I am using lots of skills every turn. And then, if everybody's MP is looking good, and the boss has the Fire Imperil, then I can use maybe the pod's ability to raise my defense. And that's useful, since there's a lot of damage coming at us every turn. And I think that's all I used him for. Zargabath, he's got a lot of jobs. He has an ability where he can heal and also restore MP to people. So if Ace's Spirit Hand does not restore enough MP, I can use Zargobath's Restore to help with that. He also has Arcadian Light, which is a buff to all stats to all my guys, and I use that especially for the defense, so I can survive these attacks. What else does he got? He also has a... it's kind of like a Dispel attack. It just removes all, you know, buffs or whatever on an enemy. And then whenever the body of Aigaion has the attack up or magic up, then I use that Zargobath attack to get rid of that. And then sometimes the arms will get defense up as well. I can also use Zargobath's attack for that. It also removes the fire and peril, however, so I have to think about like the order in which I use these attacks. And then Zargobath also has a it's like a null all ability where it will raise elemental resistance to all elements. So yeah, just, you know, keep an eye out on, you know, where everybody is. So there I see that Aigaion has the attack up icon on him. So I'm going to use Zargobath's attack to get rid of that. Yeah, check the attack up. It's called Blade of Justice. This was very, very good. Alright, so there goes the buff. Very good. And then finally, Noctis. I am usually going to use him... he's like a backup reviver. If somebody dies, then he will use the revival. It's a full life, instant revival. Comeback, there it is. But if everybody's up, then he will use the, it's like a warp dodge attack. And then that, you know, increases his chances of dodging an attack. Doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. And that can be really helpful. And then he also has an attack, it's a 48 MP, where he attacks, and then he also raises the attack and magic of the team. So if everything else is taken care of, I can use that to kind of buff up my other guys. But that's it, basically. So yeah, I am trying to debuff the left arm, and then hit him with my A2 chaining. And then with the Ayaka, I'm trying to cast Re-Raise every turn on the character getting hit by the left arm. And then with my 3 support characters, they're just filling in the gaps of, depending on the situation. Okay, so I think we can fast forward here. Let's fast forward to where we take down the left arm for the final time. Okay, so that is it for the left arm. That was a long fight. Not as long as some people's, though, as I understand it. Okay, so now it's just the body and the right arm. So on the right arm, it's got defense up. Let's use Zargobath's Blade of Justice again, get rid of that buff. And then, looking at my other characters, I think MP is okay, so let's use Ace's Tri-Beam Laser to debuff it. And then we'll get the fire damage in with the A2s. And then with the left arm gone, I don't need to worry about that guaranteed one-hit kill every turn. So that kind of frees me up to use my re-raise on, you know, a variety of guys. And that effect lasts like maybe 3 turns or so I can kind of cycle it around with Ayaka, so that everybody has, or at least somebody has re-raise every turn. And yeah, I do block a lot. The 3 support characters in the back, if they don't have anything to do, I'll just block with them, and then that will increase their survivability. And then also, if one of the A2s is down, I'll usually block with the other A2. Because, you know, I can do more damage from chaining. And yes, you might be looking at my team. These are all base 5 stars, which are the strongest guys. And you might be thinking, oh, of course, you can get the clear with this team. But I have to remind you that I'm not very good at this game. And actually it took me many, many tries to finally get the clear of Aigaion. Every time I would play it, I would kind of, you know, adjust my strategy a little bit, change my equipment a little bit. And then finally this time I got the clear. It might look like a smooth clear, but there was a lot of practice that went into it beforehand. Okay, so let's speed up the video again, and then we'll go towards where the right arm is taken down for the last time. Okay, this should do it. Okay, awesome. Alright, so now it's just us and the body. And then the body's attacks will kind of change. They'll get more frequent. So that means more damage to everybody. Whoops. So this is kind of the worst situation here, is when 2 guys are downed. Because Noctis, I want him to be my main reviver, but he can only revive 1 person at a time. And I don't want to use Ayaka's revival on somebody. I'd rather use re-raise on somebody. Because when you raise somebody during that turn, they won't be able to attack. But if you use the re-raise and it's an automatic raise, then they're able to attack the next turn, so... Yes, I am thinking. Okay, let's raise Zargabath. And then with my A2, let's also raise Ace. So we'll just go and raise everybody. We won't worry about doing damage. And then also that top A2, her MP is too low to do a chaining attack anyway, so I think that was a decent decision. And then now that that single hit guaranteed KO doesn't come out every turn, I'm totally free to choose who to put that re-raise on. And then Ace, he's going to be very important very soon. So I'm going to use the re-raise on him, just to ensure that he is alive. For one thing, I need him to get all my MP up of everybody. Alright, so that was a good re-raise there. Alright, lots of counterattacks from Zargabath. Okay, with Noctis, let's raise the A2. With Ace, let's restore everybody's MP. Very good. Okay, let's buff everybody. I feel like it's been a while since I've done that. Just to raise the defense. Okay, let's cast Re-Raise on Ace again, just to make sure he stays alive. And then we'll guard with A2. Ah. Alright, so Ace was taken down, but we had the Re-Raise, so that's awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to use the Summon of Ramuh so that I can get that reward at the end. It doesn't really do any damage, but I want to use it now as opposed to earlier, because if I hit the left arm with the lightning damage, he'll do a very big counterattack on us, so that's why I waited until now. I looked at everybody's MP and I saw that they had enough, so I didn't need to use Spirit Hand. Alright, just checking to see who has Re-Raise. We'll use that on Ayaka. If she goes down, then we're in a pinch. Okay, let's get the defense up again, and then we'll start attacking the boss. And then actually, once we start attacking the boss, we're doing pretty good damage. And that's even without the Fire Imperil. Oh no! There goes Ace again. Alright, so let's revive him with Noctis. Okay, with Ayaka, let's give him the Re-Raise again. And then, yeah, Zargabath. He has a lot of protective buffs, but I can always check on Ayaka to see how the status is of those buffs, because she never dies. So looking at her, I can see like which buffs are already up, so then I can go off of that. Okay, so the boss is at 76% HP. Once I clear the 70% hurdle, then he will start to use his ultimate attack. But I can cut that damage from the ultimate attack in half if I attack with a water-based attack before his attack. And then, yeah, Ace does have that water element rod, which is why I need him to be alive. Okay, but again, checking the MP, I saw that we had enough, so we'll use Ace's Tri-Beam Laser, get the Fire Imperil in there, and then we can start going to town with the A2 pair. Okay, we'll get the Re-Raise to Noctis, since my other guys have enough of Re-Raise of their own. Okay, so we're past the 70% limit. So Aigaion, the light is concentrating. That's a sign that his ultimate attack will come out next turn. So we will attack with Ace, get that water element attack in there, and then we'll just raise our defenses with everybody else. Okay, Noctis will use a Warp Decoy, raise his Evade. Ayaka will use a Re-Raise on herself. And then with the Zargabath, let's use his Limit Break. It's like a super buff for my team. It reduces damage taken to us. Kind of has a different icon than the defense up. And then with my A2s, we'll just attack. Okay, not bad. Alright, here comes the ultimate attack. World Destroyer. Oof. Okay, big damage, but nobody actually died, so that was awesome. Oh, and many times during this fight, A2 and Zargabath, they would get hit, and then when usually they would be taken down, they went down to 1 HP instead. That's an ability they have, and that really increased their survivability. And yeah, what can happen sometimes is that you have a character with re-raise, they're taken down, they, you know, stand up again, and then they're hit by subsequent attacks, and then they're taken down again. That's really bad luck. But with that ability where they only go down to 1 HP, that kind of saves the re-raise. So if they're hit again, they'll be re-raised after that, and yeah, that's kind of an ideal situation. Okay, let's use Noctis's Link. That will raise the attack of everybody. Oh, okay. So one more chain might do it to take down Aigaion. But I can't relax now. I'm going to keep up the strategy that I've been using so far. By now my hands are shaking as I'm playing this. Alright, checking to see who has re-raise. We'll use it on Noctis. Whoops, don't have enough MP, so let's use Ace's Spirit Hand. Okay, very good. And I've already forgotten who I wanted to use re-raise on. Okay, Noctis. Okay, let's use that. And then that World Destroyer attack, it appears every 5 turns apparently after you cross that 70% threshold. But I was very impressed with myself that I took down the boss before that next attack came out, so that was good. And there we go, we got the clear. Woo! So that was awesome. That was fun, actually. I've been lazy when I've been playing Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, because in order to take on these very high difficulty quests, it takes a lot of preparation. You gotta, you know, re-equip your guys, you gotta learn the strategies and all that. But Aigaion was the one that I wanted to clear the most, so I made the effort, and yeah, got the clear. So we got the Aigaion arm, the strongest fist in the game, and we completed all the quests that I wanted to, so that was good. World Destroyer, we'll see you later. Okay, and then finally, let's look at my main A2 with the Aigaion arm and then the fist mastery. So there she is, 958 base attack with 805 bonus attack. That is insane. Right now, Noctis, he is my friend because of the event going on, but once that is over, I'll put this A2 in there. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. It's been a couple months at least since it came out, but yeah, finally I got my team together and my equipment together, so I was able to take him down. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.